Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Southpaw's Tales from the Bar Stool. I'm your host and founder, JD. To my right, as always, is my hot wife, Kat.
I wasn't being inappropriate backstage.
Wait. That sounded right. She's not a hot wife. She is a hot space wife.
What's the difference?
Oh, a hot wife is like, you know what a cuck is, right?
Yes, I've heard that.
So a
before.
cuck is a dude that lets his wife go get fucked by anybody. A hot
Will
wife.
Smith, got it.
A hot wife is the cuck's wife, like the one that goes and gets railed by all the dudes.
Wow.
So you're not a hot wife, but you're my hot wife.
No.
So just
Once
getting that shit out of the way.
Maybe, but
So if you're wanting to comment
who
on the
has
show,
time for that?
we are live. We're bringing on Nick Rahn here in a little bit. Awesome guy, Air Force veteran. Coincidentally, we didn't know it when we first started our business relationship, which turns into a friendship. We had the same job in the Air Force a lifetime ago. But make sure that if you want to comment during the show that you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and give them permission to see your name.
Come on,
it's
y'all
just
can
so we can
smell
see your
each
name.
other.
Yeah.
USPs can smell each other a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
I can smell your panties from here. UNSP.
And as a reminder, you can, I'm just gonna keep rolling along. As a reminder,
He's
you
ignoring
can
me.
see all of our old episodes on YouTube or any of your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search Southpaw's Tales from the Barstool, and you can find us. Go ahead and tongue punch that share button's fart box for us, so everybody else
Finger
can enjoy
blast
this.
that like button.
And so we're gonna go ahead and move ahead so we can get this. This is gonna be a fun, fucked up show tonight. So we're just gonna keep pressing forward so we get to the good stuff. Tonight's man. Sorry, my mouse is screwed up, so I have to look over to the side here.
Our drink is the Amaretto Sour. We haven't done it yet, and we were walking through a liquor store, actually getting liquor for Jello shots I'm going to be making for this weekend. So if you're going to be the crawfish boil, I'm going to make 200 Jello shots this time. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, I bought enough Jello for it. I definitely have enough liquor for it.
So we were in the liquor store today, and I didn't want to pay $35 for a bottle of Amaretto.
So I Googled it. I was like, okay, let's look up Amaretto and let's Google it and see what's the best. So the top one was Disaronno. And then it said, but best bang for your buck. And there it is.
$14 for this bottle right here.
$14.
So for Amaretto Sour, you're going to do 2 to 3 ounces of Amaretto for taste. I do 2 ounces just because it keeps everything more balanced than what some recipes say. But yeah, you're going to do that.
You're just eyeball fucking it anyway. So what the hell does it matter? A little more from mom. Boom, done. Thanks.
After that, you're going to use sweet and sour sauce, or not sweet and sour sauce, sweet and sour mix.
Whatever.
Which
sweet
is
sour,
so weird.
whatever.
They don't sell sweet and sour mix anymore. It's only margarita mix.
It is margarita mix.
That's all you'll find anymore.
It is.
You're going to 2 to 3 ounces, depending. You just want to match whatever you did with the Amaretto there.
We have a cat staring at me. This is not a professional studio.
This is not. It may look like it, but it's not. And then you're going to top off with some lemon lime soda. We are using 7-Up Zero because I'm trying to not be a fat ass anymore. And then if you want, you can garnish with cherries and an orange slice. I didn't feel like garnishing shit tonight.
Oh, thank God. I was...
Because we just waste shit.
What the...
I just need your straw to stir.
Please.
So that is your Amaretto Sour. So let's see if this $15 Amaretto is actually worth a shit.
Boom shakalaka. That is bomb diggity. I haven't had an
Okay,
Amaretto Sour
I will definitely endorse that $15 Amaretto.
That is good.
And just so you know, it is called D'Amour. And it's like $15.
If you like Amaretto Sours, you want a little more bang for your buck when you're talking about liquor, you can get a Italian margarita, which is a margarita where they add Amaretto to it. So you get that sweet and sour flavor, but you also get that tequila, so you get a little more kick on the back end. Just in case you didn't know.
Good to know. Let's knock out these sponsors real quick so we can bring Nick on because I'm super stoked to talk with him. It's going to be a fun fucking show. Our first sponsor, as always, is 5x5 Brewing Company. They are Battle-born, Texas-made veteran brewing company based in Mission, Texas.
We're going to see them on Friday. We're going to go get a pony keg.
We're going to go get a keg of their blonde here.
Yes, we are.
But it's co-founded by Army vet George Rice with beers like the 40mm Stout, Brunette Bombshell, and Foo Bar. It's no surprise this brewery is taking over the Texas markets from the Valley to the Coastal Bend, all the way over to College Station, Bryan area, Hill Country. You can find them all over the place. Make sure you ask your local bar, restaurant, or grocer to start carrying 5x5 Brewing today. You can get more information at 5x5brewing.com. Facebook.com/5x5 Brewing. Call them directly at 956-445-5421 or email them at info@5x5brewing.com. That is the first time I've ever read that
And
without
before we
fucking
move
up.
on to our next sponsor, I just want to say, you know how you just genuinely like someone and you wish them the best. Just you don't see them very often, but you're like, good for them. George Rice is one of them.
Yeah, he's
It's
definitely
like
one of those.
the fact that 5x5 is becoming more successful. I'm like, good for that guy. Yeah, fuck yeah, like do it, man.
Well, not
Get him,
only-
George Rice.
Not only is he just a badass, like he's
He's
fucking
genuine.
awesome. He's
a good dude. He's just
I think it's like a 80% veteran employment rate for 5x5. So they hire mostly veterans. But yeah, enough about them. We got to move forward. I love you guys at 5x5. But our next sponsor is.
Can I stop you there first? I'm just kidding.
So the next sponsor is OMOG Construction, founded by Marine vet Seth Knox and Matt Anders. Sir, you want to read it?
I can
Fucking
do
read it then.
Okay, what voice do you want?
Sexy voice.
General Contracting Services. The greater Stop it! I can't be sexy when you're making me laugh. The greater Houston area with a focus on concrete.
No. Sexy voice. That's not sexy.
That's not sexy. Okay.
No, that's not sexy. Do
What
sexy
am I
voice.
doing? I don't know.
I don't know. Just read it so we can get Nick on.
No job too big or too small. From residential to commercial and industrial foundations and pads. See, I can't even do it. OMOG Construction has you covered. You can get a hold of them at omogco.com, facebook.com/omogco, or Instagram omogco.
That's
Omoko.
Omako. And for those of you that don't know, that's one Mexican, one Wedo. Wedo is Spanish slang for white dude. But that's it for our sponsors. We're gonna go ahead and bring Nick on. So hey Nick, what's going on?
Yeah.
Hi,
What's
Nick.
going on, guys? How you doing?
Fabulous. How you doing this afternoon?
Wonderful. Just got done with my podcast earlier. Went down to the VFW to make some deals, and then back here.
Perfect.
That just sounds
Like your life in a nutshell,
I'm
basically.
envious.
No, you do the same freaking thing. Oh my gosh.
so for those of you that missed the teaser at the beginning, Nick Rahn is a former Air Force member, security forces member, serial entrepreneur, podcaster, just all around badass. So anybody that's watched the show in the past knows that if we have anybody that's a business owner, we don't make the show about their business. So we're going to give you 3 minutes to talk about whatever businesses you have, your courses, your podcasts, whatever plugs you want to make. Do that right now. It starts now.
All right. I like serial entrepreneur. That's probably going to go in my bio. I am a serial entrepreneur. I have started 6 corporations, 2 LLCs, and 11 nonprofits in the last 3 years. I've serviced 30,000 veterans in the last 3 years with Warriors Next Adventure. We run a 24/7 suicide hotline, and we also help vets with free life coaching. So long story short, I don't have any fancy letters next to my name, so I have to call myself a life coach. Even I'm not a huge fan of that name, but whatever, we got to use it. So essentially what we do is we help veterans find what's going wrong in their life, and we help them essentially reevaluate how to accept your past and how to move on to a positive future. So that's essentially what we use for that. With the amount of people telling me that, I need to get paid for what I do, I kept telling them, like, this is a nonprofit. This is a passion project. So we've had 99 calls on the suicide hotline, and 99 of them are still alive. So I'm pretty happy with that number.
Good
I
for
hope I don't
you.
get any more calls. But you know what I'm saying? That's probably a number that's never gonna stop going up, unfortunately. Pretty damn good at what we do. And then we also do a bunch of different programs where we have mountain climbing sections. So where every year we do a fundraising lottery, and the first 5 people to raise $500 or more get an all expenses paid trip to Colorado on a 5-day mental health course. And they also get to do a mountain climb while they're at it, which is
fucking bet.
awesome.
I got
Dude,
$500.
bro, it's so much fun. Yeah. I mean, you can literally just donate $500. Say, I want to go.
I got 5 on
Yeah,
it.
it's great. And then if you're a civilian, or if after the fact you still want to come, you are absolutely still welcome to come with. You just got to pay your own way. Likely we'll have room in the Airbnb. It's just gonna be a little tight. But it's not like we all haven't squeezed into a 50-man tent with 90 people before.
Who's we?
Yeah, military,
you-
members, security force.
you've been there.
And then on top of that, we have a race program. We have 5 dirt track race cars. We actually teach veterans how to build race cars, and we actually let them race the cars as well. So if you are a veteran and you want to race a race car, you can come out for free and race a race car. Come visit, man. And then it's awesome. The only rule is if you win, you have to donate whatever your winnings to the nonprofit, just because we're letting you race our race cars, everything like that.
Okay.
Unless you win a special. If you win a special, we'll let you keep $100 because the
Okay.
special is bringing a lot of money.
Am I allowed to check people into the wall?
No, you will get kicked
Fine.
out.
Boom. See,
So,
that's all you.
That's like the
wanted.
only rule. And don't crash my car. That's the other one. So our races start next week. So next week I'll be racing a street stock. We have another street stock. We have a pure stock, a sprint car, and a Hornet. There's only one driver of the sprint car though. That's his car. It's like a $40,000 car. So we don't let people race that one.
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, pretty much. We let the new guys race the Hornet, which is a 4-banger Saturn Ion. So if you crash that, it's going to cost like $4 to fix.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the Hornet
Saturn parts are
division.
getting pretty hard to come by nowadays.
Yeah, kind of. Minnesota's real big on dirt track racing, so it's pretty easy to find parts. Plus, every car here's a piece of shit because of the snow. So I mean that helps.
Yeah.
And then on top of
It's
that, we
like
have
here
a
with the
jiu-jitsu
salt.
program. What's that?
It's like here with the salt, like with the
Yeah,
salt water.
I know, right?
We have Fancy Snuffle Bottoms asking a question.
So-
They want to know, what are you racing?
So we have a dirt track. We have a stock. A street stock. It's like a Monte Carlo body. It's a 350 Chevy engine.
Wait, which generation Monty?
Like fucking 70s Monte Carlo.
The
It's
big square
badass.
body, like the
Yeah.
one
Oh,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Grand National.
Well,
Oh.
it's all hand fabricated. We hand fabricate this whole car. It's a brand new, like the chassis is the only thing that comes with it. We've built this thing from the ground up. And then we also have 2 street stocks. We have a pure stock. You can Google it, pure stock dirt track, and you'll be able to figure it out. And then we also have the Hornet and the sprint car. So these cars are awesome. My car will be about 110 miles an hour in the straightaway. I'll probably hit the corner at about 90 miles an hour. Hopefully don't hit the wall at 90 miles an hour. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would suck.
And then we also have a jiu-jitsu program where we actually will pay for a veteran's first month of jiu-jitsu if you want to try it out. That's a newer program. We've had the jiu-jitsu program, but we just recently started paying for people to train. We work directly with We Defy Foundation. So anybody who gets denied from We Defy Foundation, they usually send them over to me, and I will at least give them a month of training. We don't have the money that We Defy does, so we can only do a month, but it's at least enough to get you to decide whether or not you want to train jiu-jitsu or not. Last year, we drove around the country for 45 days filming a documentary called PTSD versus Jiu-Jitsu. And we hit 35 gyms in 45 days and trained with over 2,000 people in 45
Okay, I'm going to
days.
stop you right there
Yeah.
because all we've heard is the good, happy, shiny shit. Tell them what really happened on this trip and how wonderful that bus was and how reliable that bus
What?
was.
So the bus was called the Warrior Wagon, but I'm going to rename it to the fucking Struggle Bus because that bitch broke down. No shit. That bus broke down 25 times. 25 times, right?
It was,
So luckily for me, I'm a mechanic and I fixed it. Not the first time because the engine blew up. And then all the other times it broke, everything that I fixed didn't break again. So I'm actually a good mechanic. It's just every single thing you can think of could go wrong in a bus fucking went wrong. It was obnoxious. I hate that bus.
it was
still
cool to
don't.
watch the progress, though, to see it come from a yellow short school bus
Mhm.
to being painted white to having the interior turn into a homemade RV.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. We turned a short bus into a camper. It was badass. It's still down in Orlando, blown up, but I'm flying down to go fix it here soon. I'm gonna drive it back home.
So you're talking about a bus, and see, my brain's in a completely different direction. Did you make a list of what you wanted to be when you grew up at 7 and then decided to make it a reality? Because you're like, okay, I was in the military. Oh, and I drive race cars. Oh, and I'm in karate. Like, what the hell?
Well,
I'm
there's a
just
reason
asking.
for it.
and I'm a
you know?
mountain climber.
And I'm a mountain climber. Yeah. I want to be a
And I'm rowing
special
across the
ops.
ocean in December.
Oh my god.
You're what?
I'm rowing a boat across the ocean in December for the Atlantic Challenge.
What the fuck?
Seriously.
Yeah. I didn't tell you that.
No, I didn't know about that.
Oh
Yeah, bro. We're
my
rowing a boat
gosh.
from Spain to the Caribbean. It's a 3,000-mile rowboat.
Hey, hang on just a second, man. I got some people commenting. Chaz, I can see you in the comments. Facebook user, if you can go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, give us permission to see your name. They can't do anything else with Facebook except for let me see who you are, because otherwise we're going to call you, what are we calling Facebook users today?
Fancy snuffle bottoms.
Yeah, Fancy Snufflebottom is your name until you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook so we can
Mark-
see who the fuck you are.
Mark says Nick is the man, all caps and everything.
No, so the funny thing is, like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I can't help it. We got one more program I'm going to tell you about. We have a wolf sanctuary as well. So veterans
Wolves.
actually get to go play with wolves. And
Oh my God.
we actually take veterans up there. They get to go, not only go inside the cages and pet them and feed them. The females that get access to a lot more wolves because they're scared of men. So, like, we can't always go in the pens with them. We can try, but they'll just run away from us. But women go in the pens and they'll, like, roll up on their backs and let you rub their bellies and everything.
I mean, wolves are just like dudes.
Are you gonna be like,
Pretty much.
like not even Joe Exotic? You're gonna be like Steve Exotic's next husband or something?
Just a
What's
little less
happening?
meth. A little less.
Oh, a little
Yeah,
less.
your
Not
teeth,
no
your
meth.
teeth are amazing.
Not no
And
meth.
not as
just a
much
little
gay anal
less.
sex, too.
Oh, wah, wah.
It's straight.
And for that
it's
reason,
straight
I'm out.
anal sex. All right.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
if you
we
don't
got-
make
we got
eye contact,
It's totally heterosexual man on man.
yeah, if
love.
you don't make eye contact, it's not gay. That's what JD told me.
We're just
So-
establishing dominance, bro.
Oh my god.
How old are you, Nick?
I'm 34.
34, and you've done so much shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I had a question.
There's a
and
reason
I
for
blanked
all
out,
this,
so we're just
though.
gonna move on. So, but yeah, 34. I mean, Jesus Christ, and you have literally
Yeah,
taken,
JD's,
like Kat said, you've taken
74.
every. Hey, go fuck yourself, woman.
Well, the
You've
reasoning
literally
behind
taken like every little boy's dream list and done it all. I mean, you were a cop in
Yeah.
a civilian role. You were what, a state trooper, right?
no, I was a 911 dispatch with the Minnesota State
no.
Patrol for the last 8 years.
I knew you were the state patrol. I knew that.
Yeah. I wanted to be a cop, but the whole George Floyd thing happened, and I was actually dispatching all of the riots that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, fuck being a cop.
yeah, no
but-
kidding.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, the reason why I went down this road is, to get a little dark for a second. Getting out of the military is a struggle for most people, and Warriors Next Adventure is a nonprofit that helps with suicide prevention, and I'm a crisis intervention specialist. So I specialize in crisis. So if a veteran is struggling and is likely going to kill themselves, they connect them to me. I also recently, just 2 days ago, partnered with the Line of Health. So anytime a veteran comes into their hospital who is suicidal, had a suicide attempt, drug overdose, or also potentially is homeless, they contact me. And what I do is I help get them the services that they need. And then I also help coach them for real. So I'm essentially a free, like, whatever you need. If a veteran needs help, they call me and I can help them get whatever they need. If it's get connected with the VSO to actually get all your benefits, I do that as well. But then I come in there, and instead of a counselor sitting down with them saying, tell me how you feel, I'm more so like, hey, fucker, what's been going on? Right. And then I start telling dick and fart jokes. So like I try to bring comedy into everything that I do, right? Which is why this podcast is going to work very well for us, because I don't normally let the comedy side out in podcasts, because I'm usually talking about mental health and, stuff like that. But, the beautiful thing is I actually attempted suicide in 2015. I put a gun up to my head and I pulled the trigger, but the gun didn't go off. And it was after that I decided that, holy shit, like, I'm not supposed to be alive. And so it was that point on, I decided I'm literally going to do everything I've ever dreamt of. And literally 3 months later, I had my first MMA fight back, and I ended up winning in 1 minute and 13 seconds. And by 2018, I was ranked the number 5 welterweight MMA fighter in Minnesota.
Wow.
So yeah, I pretty much took all the dreams I had as a kid, said, fuck it, I'm gonna do
MMA,
everything.
exactly. Yeah, I swear to God, it's
No,
like you
not
put
just
it
your
on a
dreams.
poster.
Every little boy's dream.
You put
Yeah,
it on
dude.
a poster, and you're like special forces and karate and MMA and race car driver and own my
Yeah.
own business. And
So pretty much if a veteran comes up to me and says, hey man, I've always wanted to do this. I had a vet come up to me and say, hey, I've always wanted to row the entire St. Croix River. I was like, let's go do it. Back in December, one of my veterans' moms went missing in that tornado. And I called him up. I'm like, let's fucking drive down to Kentucky and go find your mom. And we went down there, and this bitch texted him literally 15 minutes before we get into town. She's like, oh yeah, I had to change my phone number. I'm like, God damn it.
oh my Lanta.
We
Oh
had
my
fun though.
gosh.
Like I had a hillbilly in a bar telling me he was gonna skin me alive.
Oh, fun.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was really cool. He's a super nice guy.
I,
Hey, really quick. I just want to interject. What
Sure.
email can I put on the screen here on the ticker at the bottom? Just because if there is somebody that's watching that
Needs help.
needs help or needs
Sure.
or wants to get involved in one of your many thousands of fucking charities and extreme sports shit you do,
Making everyone else look like dicks.
I want to have that scrolling on the bottom of the screen for everybody.
Sure, I appreciate dick pics. It's going to be
Oh.
warriorsnextadventure@gmail.com. Pretty easy.
The only time I have penis envy when y'all start talking about dick pics.
Dude, working with veterans is fucked up because like my number is everywhere. And there's a lot of vets that be like, bro, I got a question for you. Can you check this out? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Next thing you know, bat wing. And I'm like, fucking A, man.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
It
That's,
happens.
yeah. Sank like
Love
the
it.
Titanic. Love it.
Love it.
Yeah, and so
I
like
have a
it's
There was
everything
actually talking about
we
the
do is free
Batwing.
for veterans too. So
There was after it was after I got out of the military. She and I were still dating at the time.
Oh, the good old days.
And there was this guy that I met, Garth,
Speaking of-
that she went to high school with,
Yeah. I
and
do.
he and I just instantly clicked as far as like personality types, instant best friends. You know, like
So
just
much
retarded, like-
testicles.
yeah.
They
we were actually
Oh.
going to make a novelty coffee table
A
book
coffee
of different
table
ways to
book
show your nuts,
of how
like
to
the
show
bat
your-
wing and the.
how to
and
show
we
your
had-
genitals.
I shit you not, there were over 50 named and different techniques of showing
He
your
would
nuts.
pull it out and be like, I sat in gum and like right in people's faces. I'm like,
Texas belt buckle.
how
still
can I
my
get
favorite.
this guy to get me
Yeah.
pregnant as quickly as possible? Like, let's do this. Apparently.
Oh, speaking of pregnant,
Oh, speaking of pregnant.
congratulations, Nick! I saw the post the other
Congratulations.
day.
yeah, you
Uh,
realize that was on April 1st, right?
Was it?
No, was
Yeah.
it?
No.
No, she's not
Oh, you're.
Huh?
She's not pregnant.
Well, then go fuck yourself.
Dude,
You fell for it. Are
we
you
went to
serious?
Las Vegas a year ago, and we took a picture outside of a chapel, just like, oh shit, what did we do? And then we boarded the plane and left. So we let everybody sit for hours thinking that we got married in Vegas.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
We like to fuck
Dang
with
it.
people.
Man, and I never fall for April Fool's shit because I'm skeptical of
You are-
everything. I must have
You
just
know how
not
many people
realized.
emailed me and text me like, bro,
didn't.
congratulations. I was like, oh, thanks, man. And then like the next day, I'm like, yeah, by the way, that was not a burrito or a baby. It was full of risotto and salmon.
By the way, get fucked.
Yeah, he fell for it. Congratulations.
There's so many people that my dad did too. So
Well, that's good. So I love. JD was like, "Yeah, this guy Nick's gonna be involved." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "He makes that Nordic symbol you like." I'm like, "Holy shit, the pieces!" I keep calling it the pieces of 8. I don't know why. It looks like a pirate emblem to me more than a Viking emblem, but I guess I was wrong. So
yeah, it's actually
Yeah,
a
I
Nordic. It's a Nordic compass, right? So
Yeah.
the day that I was looking for the logo for my nonprofit, I had drawn this as a tattoo because I wanted to get it tattooed on my arm in like 2017, and I lost it. And no shit, the night that I was looking for a logo for my nonprofit, this paper fell out of a drawer and hit me in the feet. What it means is it's meant to guide you on your way, even if you don't know where you're going. It's called a Vigsphere. It's just a Nordic compass. The Vikings used to paint it on their boats when they would take off. And what they would do is they would use it for guidance, essentially like any kind of symbol, shit like that. And I was like, this is the perfect symbol for what I'm trying to do.
yeah, it works. I love it. It's just it's catchy. And so you said your family's from what, Germany?
Yeah, so we're like Norwegian, German, Irish,
Got
a
it.
little bit of English
Mutts.
too.
You're
So-
we got small dicks.
Hopefully my parents are watching because I told them to, because they just did a tour of Ireland and stayed in multiple castles. So tell us where your family's Irish roots are from.
Yeah, so we come from the O'Brien and Durden section. So our family actually has a castle called Huntington Castle, and it was on the Discovery Channel's top 10 most haunted places in the world. It's like
Gotta
there's
go.
people,
Yeah, gotta go.
there's people that will like wake you up and like pull your blankets off you and shit, and they're just
Gotta
ghosts.
go.
And- yeah, I know, right?
Hey, Nick, can you put that on your live bucket list, is to take us to Ireland for that? Because we know you'll
Hell
do
yeah.
it then.
Come
Yeah,
with.
yeah. You,
Well,
you do anything.
I
you set your
actually
mind
have
to.
it on my plans to do a 2-week solo camping trip in Ireland. So I'm literally just gonna backpack from the West Coast down south all the way to the East Coast.
Of course you are.
Oh,
Of course
well,
you are.
that doesn't help me at all.
My life sucks. I get it.
We'll
Thank you, Nick.
fly into Dublin, meet me there. We'll get smashed, and we'll go down and stay at the hotel.
Smash,
Sold.
smash with like an H and an M.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
SC
We're gonna
That's
get
it.
white
That's
girl
security
wasted?
forces smashed.
Yeah, SCHMASH.
Only if you don't drink for like 2 months and be
Yeah.
a cheap date, because like that's my jam.
Well,
Well-
believe it or not, if I drink like 2 or 3 beers, like I get like a headache and I'm like, I'm kind of done, and but I can drink. So you guys are making your favorite drink. I quit drinking many times. I was an alcoholic up until about 2015, or well, it was 2014 really, but I quit for a couple years, and then eventually got to the point where I really just wanted a beer, and I drank a beer, and I'm like, all right, cool, and that's all I had. 2 weeks later, I had a glass of whiskey, and I'm like, yeah, cool, I'm good. I finally realized that I finally had control again, and so I would drink occasionally here and there. But being an MMA fighter, like I was an MMA fighter from 2015 to 2018 when I got knocked out in my last fight. So like we spent the majority of our time afterwards, like every person I fought, the first thing I would do is buy them some whiskey. I'm like, we're gonna have a shot together. We just got done beating the
Yeah.
shit out of each other. Let's get drunk. And
I
it was all
love
social.
dudes. I
Oh,
love
it was great.
dudes.
Let's beat
like,
the
you get
shit
the
out
fuck
of each other and get
and then you're
drunk.
friends for life. Like what the
Some
fuck?
of the best friends I have, we
You've gone
Started-
to blows with
we
them.
started as a fist fight.
Nice.
Like, and
So one of my best friends is
Damn it.
actually the guy that I fought in 2016. So I broke my neck in 2016 in April, and essentially they told me I would never fight again, and they told me I'd have an 18-month recovery. And I'm like, I'm gonna fight again this year. They're like, no, you're not. So what had happened was 2 of my vertebrae in my neck, my C6 and my C5, were a quarter turn twisted, and the disc was
Oh,
bulged out, and
fuck.
it was rubbing against my fucking spine, or my what do you call it?
No means no.
Yeah.
No means no.
What's the shit? The spinal cord. And I lost like 1.5 inches of mass on my right bicep, so I look like the small hand guy from Scary Movie.
Take my strong hand. Everybody knows what he's talking about. That's brilliant.
Oh man, you could do the stranger. It looks like a feminine hand. Like,
It
get in here, you dirty bitch.
I was
It's
still,
much smaller, and the texture of the
That's
fingers.
why
is
JD
just
married
weird.
me. I have tiny hands. I make him look huge.
No, I know exactly what you're
Huge.
talking about though, because after my motorcycle wreck,
Yeah.
like I shattered or split my collarbone in half, and then it was like
Ooh.
it was like X.
displaced and yeah.
So now I have a
Gross.
plate and 10 screws. The X-ray is awesome. It looks like a caterpillar. But
Did
yeah,
yours like callus up really crazy like this?
yeah.
oh
see that
yeah, it's
bump?
gnarly.
It's disgusting.
You
man.
can't see it on camera, but yeah,
but
it's,
you
it's
can
pretty
feel
gnarly.
it. It's all bumpy.
Oh yeah, you
and
can feel the
lumpy.
screw heads under my skin. It's crazy.
Nasty.
But yeah, my left
You probably get
side
butt
was
searched at
just
TSA every time, huh?
smaller than my right side because I'm left-handed. I also had to learn to masturbate with the other hand, which is so weird.
I helped him. We made
Yeah,
it
she
through.
did. It was a team effort.
I'm like,
just used
I'm
my
going around
toes.
it. I'm like, I'm ghosting him. Oh my. We were
Yeah, the
making
crazy
pottery
thing
that
was like I
day.
broke my neck, and I told him, I'm like, I'm gonna fight again this year. They're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. Watch me. So I didn't want to go to PT. I did my own PT. I went to the gym and I started researching epigenetics and neuroscience and like all this crazy shit.
For
Right? I
fun.
know it sounds nuts, but like I was trying to do my best to grow my brain as much as I could. And so I started studying epigenetics, neuroscience. I started studying Buddhism in about 2016. I can never be a Buddhist because I fucking swear too much and I like meat. So I'm never gonna really go full monk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could never.
Well,
do that.
never go full monk.
No, never go full monk.
Never go full monk.
So that's actually a hashtag that I use because I accidentally said that on Jiu-Jitsu Dummies, and it's always hashtag never go full monk.
Never go full monk.
But I started doing my own workouts and I started meditating on it as much as I could. So every day I would meditate for about 30 minutes and I would imagine my neck healing. And no shit, about a week before I went to go get my staples out, a month after my surgery, I pulled all my staples out with a fucking, what do they call it? Tweezers, or not a tweezers, a pliers. Because the shit was
Motherfucker.
bothering me. They was like rubbing in my spine and it hurts. So I'm like, I'll just pull it out. Fuck it. So I get in there and the nurse is like, where are your staples? I'm like, oh, right here. And she's like, what the fuck? Why did you keep them first
Okay.
off?
Okay,
Did you
look.
have them in a
Look, as a medical professional, people do not do what Nick did. Okay, I'm just saying.
Oh man. And the funny thing is, so
Atlanta.
Did you have them in
neur-
like a Ziploc or something?
yeah, I had them in my
In his
hand. No
purse?
shit.
He
Like
had
I
him in
had
his
them in my
purse.
pocket and just pulled them out like, here you go. And she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? And so the neurologist came in and he's like, he's like, what did you do? And I'm like, oh shit, I thought I fucked something up. And come to find out, he's like, your neck is 100% healed in a month. And I'm like, epigenetics, man. He's like, that shit doesn't work. I was like, you just said my neck is healed in a month. You said I'd be gone for 18 months. And I was like, I'm like good to go, right? He's like, you're medically cleared. I was like, to what? To fight? He's like, yeah. He's like, you're a fucking freak. I'm like, dude, it's epigenetics, man. Like the thing, if you guys don't know what epigenetics, please Google it. Just start watching some shit by Joe Dispenza and God damn it, Bruce Lipton. They're like the godfathers of epigenetics.
The godfathers?
The Grodfathers.
Essentially. Fuck you, dude. I'm not even drunk right now. But no, they're like the godfathers of epigenetics. And epigenetics is essentially the biology of belief, right? You guys know what a hypochondriac is, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Motherfucker that thinks himself sick. It's the exact opposite, right? So I healed my neck in a month, and no shit. April was my surgery. August, I came back and I fought and I won fight of the night. Me and this guy Yama, who I'm really good friends with now, beat the living shit out of each other. And in the third round, we high-fived each other right as the bell rang. I said, let's knock each other out. And he just fucking like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm smiling and shit. Because like I still think about it like this. I'm literally living a boy's dream when I'm supposed to be dead. You know, I think every time I do something awesome, I stop and think like I'm not supposed to be alive. You know, I think that's why I enjoy life so much, is because I realize that I have a second chance. And now that I've fixed my shit, I literally get to give my life back to veterans who are in that dark spot that I was in, you know, and I get to do awesome shit like fight and play with wolves and race cars. So,
And
know,
climb mountains and
JD, he makes you look like a.
I know. I am so emasculated because of your presence.
Nah, dude, I'm the nicest guy that'll ever kick
I didn't know that there was a name for the good thinking for healing. When after my motorcycle wreck, like they were like, there's a possibility you might not talk right, might not walk right. You know, I wasn't wearing a helmet, hit the ground at 40 at least. Multiple skull fractures, TBI. In and out of consciousness for days.
Seizures, so they had to sedate him.
So yeah, it was pretty
Did
bad.
You hold on a second? I got a question. Did you ever try to have sex with him while he was having a seizure? It's like vibrate mode.
None of your business.
I'm just saying, like
it was for science, Nick.
It crossed my mind for a second, like, you know.
We didn't even. No penetration was required. It was like a living vibrator. Like, hello. I came twice since we started this conversation. Like,
me too, and it's quite messy over here now. But to circle back, to digress, yeah, but once I was able to actually put thoughts together and cognitive thoughts after that, after those injuries, it was like, you're not going to do this. I'm like, yeah, fuck you, doc. And that was the whole mentality, was just, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
And you're going to be in physical therapy for your arm and your back and your shoulder for months and months and months. And it's like 6 weeks after the wreck, I'm released from physical therapy, occupational therapy, and it's like, how'd you do that? Because fuck you, that's how.
Well,
and that was my exact.
It wasn't positive thinking with him. It was fuck the world. I'm going to prove everybody wrong, because that's who JD is.
Yeah.
But I work in a hospital, and I'm all about the power, the power of positive thinking. Like, I've had so many patients tell me, well, I'm going to die tonight. And they would. It's like they absolutely convince themselves, okay, this is it. And it was.
Yeah,
but if they like stayed positive, like, I'm going to go home, my wife, like, usually it's pets. I've got my dog, and they really need me. And so I'm going to get better, and I'm going to get better fast. And they would get better so much quicker, or because they had a reason.
Yeah.
Conversely, how many people, especially like husband and wife of 70 years, and husband dies, and within 24 hours, wife dies of a broken heart.
Yeah.
And it's completely mental, and it goes both ways. It can kill you and it can save you. And I'm a firm believer of that. Your story just validates what I believe.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like,
you're using him for validation.
You know,
yes.
And and like I tell people all the time, it's literally the way that you think, right? So you can't always control what happens. You can 100% always control the reaction, right? So I ended up getting cancer back in October. And,
yeah, of course you did.
Life,
because you just have to try everything.
Yeah, well, why not?
Fucking Lance Armstrong.
I know, right? It sounds fucked up, but there's a book out there called Man's Search for Meaning by Dr. Viktor Frankl. And it essentially talks about logotherapy. And logotherapy is essentially teaching people that hope is what actually keeps people alive. Essentially epigenetics, right? It's an old school way of explaining epigenetics. So Viktor Frankl was actually a Holocaust survivor from Auschwitz. And he was also a psychotherapist and some other fucking letters next to his name. And he actually started studying everybody in Auschwitz. And he started realizing that all the people that ended up dying from starvation or overworking were usually the ones who lost hope. But all the guys who essentially had hope and had a meaning for their life, right? Essentially, their meaning was quite literally to suffer, to make it through, right? Their meaning was to suffer. So if they were suffering, they're living, right? So I had a kind of aha moment once. I was listening to a Tony Robbins speech, and it kind of just put some things together for me. It's like my life is essentially I'm meant to suffer so I can help people through what they're going through. So I decided when I got cancer, I was just going to tell cancer, go fuck itself. I'm busy. I got shit to do. So I went in and dude, it was so funny because like when we went in there, my dad went with me and we went into the VA and I already knew it was cancer. So I told my dad, I was like, let's fuck with every nurse that we can. And so we sit down and the first thing that happens is this nurse comes in and she's attractive and she has her fucking intern with her. And so I'm like, shit, these two girls are gonna have to stare at my balls. So I open up my legs and my dad's behind me and the nurses are in front of me. And my dad's like, I'm surprised.
Cancer?
What's that?
Was it testicular cancer?
Oh, I guess I never said what kind of cancer it was.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, testicular cancer.
Oh, well, I hope so. When you're talking about them feeling your balls, I was like, what kind
it was
of
actually
nurse
tongue
was
cancer,
this?
but they did it.
Yeah, they were checking my balls.
You might
finger
want
in
to
my
check there's
butt.
a growth down there, too.
There's a growth
My
now.
My
Only
tumor
about
just
2
gained
inches,
about
but
4
hey.
inches.
I have a brain tumor, but there's a growth down there.
Well, the funny thing is they they're looking under my gown and my dad goes, I'm surprised you can see it. Then without missing a beat, the nurse goes, he's very blessed. And I'm like, fuck you, old guy. It was pretty good. And then when I went down to get my ultrasound, they had to do an ultrasound, right? So it's weird, right? I'm sitting there with my pants halfway down. There's a towel over my junk and a girl with her hand underneath the towel. So I'm like, I'm gonna fuck with her, right? So I was like, she's got to be like an early to mid 20s. So I was like, she'll appreciate this. I'm like, hey, you think when they take this one out, they could put like a glow in the dark one where you just like, and it like starts glowing? I was like, it could be like Rudolph, like just pull it out and I could lead the way. You know what I'm saying? She's like, can you stop? I can't do this when I'm laughing. I was like, well, what about jingle balls? Like jingle bells. But like, I guess every time I jerk off, it would sound like I'm like dashing through the snow. You know what I'm
That
saying?
would be oh my god, it would sound like someone was entering an antique store. Ching, ching, ching.
There's dust everywhere.
It's so crazy. Maybe it's an Air Force thing. When I was in the Air Force still, I was 20 and I had testicular cancer and luckily for me, I caught it early enough and it was just a
Caught it early. It swelled up like a fucking watermelon.
no, it didn't. I caught it early enough to where it was just there was no chemo or anything like that. It was just a simple surgery to get rid of it. Well, simple.
They didn't even numb you.
But they numbed me for that one. There was a different surgery that they forgot to numb me for in the Air Force because fucking retards. But
pregnant person. I can hear her in the background.
but yeah, they ended up they just cut it off and then part of my right testicle along with it just enough to keep me cancer free after that point.
Yeah.
And
so
like you're
they
saying,
take one of your nuts,
it was like a 20-year-old nurse, and she was pretty attractive. And I'm just sitting there like, oh god, don't get hard, don't get hard, don't get hard. And
Yeah,
that's what I keep saying in my head while she's sitting there playing with my balls. I'm like, fuck.
So JD and I have a running joke that there's Tupac and he's one and a half Pac.
I just tell people like if you see me leaning to the right, just push me back over. I'll settle myself up. But now the funny thing is like I told everybody like I'm going to be the example of how to handle cancer, right? So I essentially said, yeah, I got ball cancer. We'll get a scan. No big deal. So they cut it out. They had to take my left nut, and it ended up growing to be about 8 millimeters, which isn't huge. It's just under a centimeter. You know, it's not massive, but I mean that's still pretty big. And literally like the day that they did my scan, they found a lump in my chest. And so I had a 1 millimeter lump in my chest and they're like, yeah, well, you know, there's not much we can do. We'll just wait and see. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I had another scan in February and it's now 5 millimeters. And so I'm likely going to be battling lung cancer here soon, which sucks, but I need to get that done because I got to row the ocean in December. So like, I told them like, can we just cut this out now? And they're like, well, we got to wait till it's a centimeter. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the hell?
Why? Yeah, why not just take care of it?
It's the fucking VA, man.
Oh, that's why.
And I don't have the money to pay to go down to Mayo Clinic and get a scan because that's like fucking $2,500.
So I have a very serious question. Do you have like phantom ball syndrome, or did they put like a ping pong ball in there to replace it?
No, I didn't see the reason for it, you know, like, and the funny thing is my right one actually like compensated and got bigger. and my testosterone went up like 140 points too, which is crazy. It's like I'm a freak. I don't know what's going on there.
Didn't flatten out like a dog when it gets.
So that other ball was keeping that ball from its full potential.
I guess, like seriously, like
it's like a
releases-
twin absorbing the other in the womb.
yeah, pretty much.
There should only be
cancer,
one.
Cancer
There's
actually
only
releases a
one.
lot of extra cortisol in the body, and that causes a lot of stress and shit. So that affects testosterone production. So as soon as I lost my testicle, it's like my body just said, "Let's go," but now I'm dealing with the lung shit. So, you know,
And now your girlfriend really is going to get pregnant because you're one like Super Bowl.
I know, right? That thing's starting to take over. Next thing you know, it's gonna be a damn
Actually,
melon
you
in
might
my
want to be
pocket.
careful. Just from you talking, I might get pregnant. So just be...
Yeah, you're not gonna shoot like a million sperm. It's gonna just be one gigantic one. Go!
It just comes
swims
out a baby.
It's like the size of a catfish. It like comes out.
It's like a giant tadpole. Like, oh
That
shit.
brings a new meaning to noodling.
Oh, bless America. I'm not putting my hand in that. I'm not doing it. You can't make me. Look, I'm a respiratory therapist. I work from the waist up. I'm not.
Okay.
Nope. I'm not into the whole buttholes and testicles and all that other shit.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I've been
not at
having
work.
some like breathing issues, and I've been coughing a lot and shit. Like I'm starting to actually show signs now, which sucks. But I have another scan next month, and I mean, it grew 4 millimeters in like 2.5 months. So I mean, chances are it's close to about a centimeter now if that's the style that it's going. But my thing is that, you know, I'm all about manifesting, right? Saying like this is what's gonna happen, right? But I'm also a realist. So my manifesting also has, but this could potentially happen, right? So I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to think this way, but prepare for the worst, hope for the best. You know what I'm saying? And I know that if it is cancer, hurry the fuck up. I got shit to do, you know? So like I've already seen my future 10 years from now. So I'm not worried about it. You know,
So
I don't
10,
see cancer
10 years
now.
from now, what are you
Where
doing?
So I give a speech called The 6 Principles. I'm writing a book right now called The Warrior's Path. I'm sorry, fucking A, my brain is all over the place. It's called The 6 Principles of Warrior's Path to Inner Peace. And in that book, I talk about, I'm like 10,000 words in it. So I'll be done soon, hopefully. I talk about becoming your own hero, right? So the third principle is about accepting your past. And the only way you can actually become your own hero is to quite literally accept your past. Because if your past is always having control of you, what happens when you walk backwards? You can't see where you're going. You're going to trip and fall, right? So in order to create a better future, which is the fourth principle, you have to accept that. And to become your own hero quite literally means like you need to look up to yourself as your hero, right? Not right now. I don't consider myself my hero, right? Me 5 years from now, that guy's fucking awesome. I can't wait to be that guy, right?
Oh,
So
you're
you
my
literally
fucking hero already.
do
Valid.
you literally build, you know, what are some things that you could do to consider yourself your own hero? So often I ask people, who is your hero? They'll say like fucking like a football player or their dad or some shit like that, which not always bad answers, but I always ask them, why isn't it you? And a lot of times I get the answer, well, I've never done anything worthy of being a hero. Like, you know, it's possible though, right? And look at all the shit that I've done. I did that after I fucking tried to kill myself and realized that I need to fucking do everything possible in this earth because time is running out and I already wasted one chance. I got a second chance and I need to take advantage of it. And you still have the potential to change yourself and be whoever you want to be. You know, we can all be a hero. You know, we're all writing our own book. You know, what do you want your book to say? Is it going to be an adventure novel or is it going to be a fucking sad, boring story of somebody who never got their shit together? Right. So write your own fucking book and decide who you want to be. You can write your book and say, hey, all of this happened, even though it hasn't happened yet, but you know it's going to happen because I've already manifested it and I'm going to be that person. It's going to be fucking awesome.
So Nick, I'm gonna put you on speed dial on my phone, and any day that I have like a badass day at work where like I saved a baby's life and I'm feeling like bomb diggity, I'm gonna call and talk to you so it takes me down a peg or two. I'm like,
I mean, I just saved a life.
thanks
nothing
for keeping
major.
me grounded. Nick, thanks for making me seem like a piece of shit.
Well, I tell people all the time, like, you know, you be happy with what you have, like be happy with who you are. But if you're not, don't sulk, don't feel bad, you know, don't hate who you are. Just accept the fact that every choice that you've made in your life has led you to where you're at. If you're not happy with your choices, if that's true, why can't you make a better life? because
So
you're already
10
making the choices that have gotten you to where you're at. Make different choices to where you want to be.
So 10 years from now, you're going to be on a book tour, and you're going to be the next Tim Robbins, like giving speeches, motivational speeches, and telling
Tim
people
Robbins
to
is
suck
going to be paying to go to his shows.
Ooh,
Dude, so
like
I've
it.
been saying for years I want to be the next Tony Robbins. Like he's like literally my idol, and I've wanted to be like him. And so after I got cancer, I lost my job as a carpenter. And I'm like, shit, like what am I gonna do? And I just got approved for 80% through the VA. So I'm like, score. I quit working completely, and I've been running Warriors Next Adventure full time ever since then. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm gonna live my dream. But then I shortly realized that's not enough money. You know, it's enough to pay the bills, but it's not enough to really do much, especially with the fucking economy the way it is right now.
No shit.
Yeah,
So
we're not
I
gonna
started
delve into that.
yeah. So like I started a new business, and I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I started a new business doing something that I love. And I said, I want to be the next veteran Tony Robbins, right? I'm like, you know what? No, fuck that. I'm just going to go be me, and I'm going to change the fucking world my way. And so I started Invoke Change, and now I teach people how to be motivational speakers. I'm a paid motivational speaker. I'm actually teaching for the Air Force. The Air Force is finally fucking paying me to do their suicide prevention classes. I'm starting in Minot though, so I don't know.
Oh fuck!
I might kill
No.
myself up there.
Why do you want to motivate anybody there? Their souls have already been crushed and destroyed,
So
and there's no salvation from that place.
Where do you live, Nick?
I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota, the Twin Cities.
No,
Minneapolis,
So-
St.
your
Paul.
full address.
No, not that. So in Texas, I don't know if you know anything about South Texas and like our culture and stuff, but we are like majority Hispanic or from Mexico, residents, and they believe in like pulling out the negativity from your body, including cancer, and like they crack an egg.
They
Have
use
you
the
ever heard
egg,
of that? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've
they
heard about
crack
that.
an egg to like release it, and it's supposed to absorb all the negativity and all of that. And like they swear upon that. And hey, I mean, sometimes they get better right after that. I'm just saying, like,
Well, I tell people all the time, you just got to go with the flow. Like, have you ever heard the story about the Chinese farmer? It's a
No.
vague fucking thing, right? So this Chinese farmer has a horse, right? He wakes up in the morning, his horse is gone. The neighbors come over and say, "Oh my God, this is terrible." He goes, "Yeah, maybe." The next day, the horse comes back with 3 extra wild horses. He goes, "Oh, this is amazing." And the villagers tell him that. He goes, "Well, maybe." The next day, one of the wild horses kicks his son and breaks his leg. They go, "Oh, this is terrible." They go, "Yeah, maybe." The next day, the army comes through looking for recruits to go to war, and they skip over his son because he's got a broken leg. And he goes, everyone says, "Oh, this is amazing." He goes, "Maybe." So you have to understand, we can't choose what the future is going to be all the time. Sometimes certain things happen that are out of our realm of what we wanted to happen. But you can choose your reaction every time.
True.
No matter what happens, you can choose your reaction. Somebody could come up to me and slap me. Like that hillbilly down in Kentucky who said he was going to skin me alive. I could very easily picked him up by the throat and threw him
threatened
through the window.
I threatened to do that to JD with the potato peeler because he was pissing me off earlier. I'm just saying, like,
That was
I
just
was like, I'm gonna say it was manslaughter, and they're gonna be like, you peeled him for an hour, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
well-
like, it was manslaughter.
Involuntary-ish manslaughter.
I was making pot roast, and he was annoying the fuck out of me. It was justifiable homicide if it wasn't
That's what
manslaughter.
husbands are
In
supposed
my
to do.
defense, I
In
was
your
deliberately
defense.
annoying her. It wasn't just passive annoyance.
Somehow that makes it worse, I think. Like, just speaking for myself here. Hi, me again. You're a dick. That's all. That's my positive power thinking. I think you're a dick. But I love you and you're my dick.
The main thing that I preach though is like, don't let what happens in life destroy you. You can do 2 things with tragedy. Tragedies happen. People die. We all are going to die. That's a beautiful thing about Buddhism that really helped me just chill the fuck out. I just don't worry anymore. I don't carry a gun anymore. I'm not saying don't carry guns. That's not what I'm saying. I just personally, I don't carry
I was
one
like,
anymore.
that's not gonna happen.
No. I'm not telling people not to do that. It's a First Amendment right or a Second Amendment right. I think everybody should carry a gun. If you want to, go for it. I just personally stopped. I started sitting with my back to the door. I started doing all of the things that my mind and my brain was
Oh,
telling me.
that just-
JD
Yeah.
just
That just
cr-
gave
I
me the
can feel
willies
him
already.
cringing from here.
Bro, it took me 3 years. 3
That
years
is,
of
to
deliberately
this
sitting with my
day,
back to the
I can't do it.
No,
And
it's not gonna happen. Which is okay because I understand that that's a part of his crazy. So I just accept it. I
There
literally
was-
tell the boys, And what happens when we go out to eat? Dad picks his seat first. They know.
Yeah.
We all stand there and let him pick his seat, and then we sit around him. So.
I'm
Yeah,
the last
there's
one to
nothing
eat. I
wrong
make
with
sure
it at
everybody
all.
else has food before me, but I am the first
Yeah.
one to choose my fucking seat. Like that's
Yeah,
just,
there's nothing wrong with that, right? So when I'm saying that, I'm not saying there's anything bad about it. I just personally, I saw some things in my life I wanted to change. And in order to change certain things, you got to do difficult shit,
Yeah.
right? And so in order to get your mental health in the space that you want it to be, you have to do the exact opposite of what your anxiety and your mental health is telling you not to do, right? You know, hey, the majority of the days I wake up, I don't want to get out of fucking bed. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything, right? I'm a serial entrepreneur because if I don't have something to do, I will get depressed, I will get suicidal, and I will hate my fucking life, right? But this morning I woke up like, I don't really want to do much today because it was raining and snowing. I'm like, fuck, man. I dropped my kids off at school. I came home and I sat down at my computer and started working. I'm like, oh, fuck, I was going to sit in bed all day. Damn it. But I have so much shit to do and I can't.
I would love to just lay in bed at least just one day.
Well, like
Just
when I
recharge them
started
batteries.
losing the weight, because I've lost like an exorbitant amount of weight, and that was one of the things was if it doesn't challenge
Congratulations, by the
you,
way.
it's not going to change you. So it's just always one of those mantras that's always in the back of my head. If it doesn't challenge you, it's not going to change you. So
Yeah.
there's days where, like, I don't like waking up at 4 fucking o'clock in the morning, but if I want to work out on the days that I have to go to work and work a 12-hour shift to the hospital, I have to do it in the morning at 5 a.m. So
Yeah.
there you go. It's not like I enjoy waking up that early, but you know, when you've got goals and you want to
hey, I'm
make
doing
changes in your life, you got to do crazy shit.
I'm rucking 22 miles on
Oh, good.
Memorial Day.
How
Do I
long have you
want to
been?
walk for 22
Fucking
miles?
How
on
long
the
have you
road?
been training for that?
I'm starting training the next week.
You haven't
Oh,
trained.
but I've never even trained for any of the 100-mile ones I've done, and I still
And you
fucking do
hurt
that. And
yourself.
oh yeah, my feet are a fucking hamburger when that shit's done.
Dude, I will not do ruck marches and fucking
I was
hike.
about
Like
to invite you.
the irreverent warrior silky, fuck all that shit, right? I'll go hiking, like climbing mountains and shit, but like rucking, fuck that. I hated that in the military. Just like I
See,
don't
but
run anymore.
our
either.
rucks,
Fuck
the rucks
shit.
that we do down here, it's very laid back. If you want to have a ruck, you can have a ruck. If you don't want to wear a ruck, you don't
If you
wear a
want
ruck.
to drink
If you
beer
wanna
the
do it-
whole fucking time, do it.
We've
There was a
done
guy
rucks-
chugging whiskey.
the September 11th one he did a couple years ago, everybody showed up with an 18-pack of beer in their ruck. So your ruck got
Hell
lighter
yeah.
the farther you got into it. And it was 20 miles. By the time the 20 miles was done, everybody's pissing in every third yard that you pass because you just have so much beer inside of you. The one we're doing on
Well, I'd rather you have beer inside of you than you spending the night with all those dudes having other things inside of you. So
hey, what happens on the ruck stays on the ruck.
I knew
He comes home and he
Son of
smells
a
like
bitch.
Vaseline. You know exactly what the fuck happened.
Hey, that's
Lewis?
taping.
Lewis, we need to have a conversation. Zeke, are you on here? Zeke, you were supposed to tell me. Bros before hoes. Son of a.
So I do have to plug this real quick. If
Go ahead.
just because we're on the subject, if you are in the South Texas area on Memorial Day and you want to be involved, it's I can't remember what I think it's like $30 for the ruck, and then there's going to be a banquet in the afternoon or the evening time. We provide all the food. There's gonna be live auctions. There's gonna be live bands. The bands have veteran members in them too, so it's gonna be a full vet centric day. Harley Davidson and Corpus Christi is going to be providing the lunch for us that day.
Awesome.
So it's going to be just really fucking cool. You're just going to walk 22 miles, talk shit, call each other horrible names, flip each other the bird,
Oh, I've got plenty.
piss, moan, complain, and then eat and drink and be merry.
Awesome.
Dude, that's me. Anytime I have to do something I don't want to do, like this is fucking bullshit. I'll complain the whole time. I'll do it, but I'll complain. I did the Murph last year. Complain the whole fucking time. Like this is bullshit.
JD
I
wants
wanna
to do that.
I want to do it, and I'm in
Yeah.
no shape.
The
No,
Murph
he's
sucks
not.
I'm not
ass,
even
dude.
remotely
He's not,
close.
no,
Ugh.
he's not even close to doing it. No.
We ended up doing it in, I think we ended up doing it in 42 minutes. We wanted to do it in under an hour.
Good
Oh
God.
my
Yeah,
God.
we killed
That
it,
is
dude. I did it with
insane.
another
The fuck
another
is
Air Force.
wrong with you?
I had a buddy of mine do it in like 2:11, I
Mm.
think is what it was. And I thought that was impressive.
Yeah,
Under an hour?
We
Get
went
fucked.
hardcore, dude.
No
Look,
fucking way.
I
I'm-
don't-
Whoa.
I don't want to brag or anything, but I could slap Will Smith at like 18 miles per hour or slap Chris Rock with Will Smith's hand at 18 miles an
Have you
hour. in
seen?
that
Have you seen?
game.
There's already a website where it's a hand and you swipe it across your
And
your
just slap him. and
screen
you
to
have
slap Chris Rock, and it tells you how many miles an hour you swiped him.
Dude, I fucking love the internet so much, man.
It was within 36 hours of
It was
of the slap
amazing. It was
happening.
so fast. It was awesome. And
Well,
before
dude-
we close out tonight, I do have to plug our next show and ask for y'all's help. So we are actually going to be doing the Not So Newlywed game, where we're answering questions about each other with dry erase markers. And if we get the answer wrong, we have to drink. Fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead and post your questions that you want asked, or message JD and I on Facebook and let us know what questions you have, and we will give you credit live on, well, not live on the show. We have to pre-record it, which is why we're asking for the questions now. So, but we will give you a shout out if you give us the questions and we use them on the show.
Hell yeah.
So we're gonna be wrapping this up. We don't have to wrap it up right this second, but we're within the last 5-10 minutes of this. I'm definitely gonna have to have you on another time, because this hour went entirely
Way
too
too
fucking fast, and there's so many things that we touched on that I definitely want to delve farther in. I brought it up on the show last season about
We didn't even get to know the name of your super testicle. Like, I'm really sad.
I
Surely
actually
he hasn't-
never named it. Like, we could do a naming
What?
competition.
Oh, please, please.
Okay, funniest name to come across the comments in the next 5 minutes wins.
Wins what? What do we
I
have?
don't
We
know.
have merch. What merch do we have left?
I have no fuck.
You want a hat? You want to make him a hat?
Sure.
Southpaw
we'll make a
hat. We'll make you a Southpaw hat.
There you go. Which, by the way, I need to order some more hats, man. These ones.
Yeah,
We
we'll
can get 'em.
we'll touch base.
We'll talk about it.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that
I got a lot going on, man. It's hard to talk about what I
even-
do in an hour.
well, I'm talking about just how we've gone different ways from the same background, completely different, and even a lot of the story after the military are
Hulk nut.
Mark with a C says Hulk nut.
You wouldn't like it when it's angry.
I think a lot of us veterans
It'll
have
spit on you.
the I almost committed suicide stories, and it's kind of crazy to see the parallels, and then also see how it's affected and gone the opposite direction. I used to be, before I got myself in counseling and everything, I was very angry. Like I was
a salty bitch.
I was the Kyle that would punch like gigantic holes in walls and shit because I didn't know how to deal with anything.
Drink a lot of Monster Energy.
Yeah,
Wear
I
Affliction
drink
shirts.
Monster and yeah, punch holes in walls.
He was
And now it's like I get frustrated, but to get me like truly angry the way that I used to get angry,
it only
it
takes
takes a lot.
me. It only takes me.
she knows exactly.
It's because you
what
know the
buttons to
buttons.
push.
Here's the thing about women. Women know the
Those
buttons
love
that
those
piss dudes
And
off.
she fucking
You know what's crazy?
And
It's just
timing-
the buttons light up when I push them, and so it's fun. It's so pretty.
Like
no,
Elf.
that's my face and the red that's lighting up. Yeah, she's like a kid in an elevator. It's exactly how it is. But it's weird, like I think that like your failed suicide motivated you to do all this stuff, and my
Call
failed
it a
suicide.
failed suicide.
It's a failed because you failed.
Oh,
Yeah,
I failed at it too, and I'm
Dude,
so
here's
glad I
here's
was
the
a
thing
failure.
about that word failure,
But-
right? It's okay to fail, right? People make so many excuses why they should call something not a failure, right? It drives me fucking insane. There's certain button sniper.
Mark
what
is
the
on.
fuck? That's a good one. I like it.
but
I like it.
sniper.
But no, like failure is good. You learn from failure, right? I've had a lot of failures in my life. You know, people say, "Oh, you're not a failure." I was like, "Oh, I know that. I'm not a failure at all." But I've failed a lot, right? It's okay to learn from a failure. That's why, like in jiu-jitsu, no, there's no losing it. Yeah, there is. You failed. You didn't fucking win. You lost, right? Take that loss and grow from it, right? There's so many people trying to sugarcoat shit in this fucking gimme society that we have, like this
True.
fucking bubble wrap motherfuckers. Fail. Just quit being scared to fail. You started your company knowing that you could fail, but you
Yeah.
did it anyway. Fuck it. YOLO. Send it.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
make the
I
best
call it,
hats
I
failed a
you've
call
lot
it
ever
the
of
had.
grab ass society. I'm gonna grab your ass and tell you you're pretty. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, dude, you make the best hats I've ever fucking had. I've ordered like 6 different
Sorry.
style hats. Yours are the only ones. The shit doesn't fall off. I love it, and I constantly get phone calls like, "Give me some more fucking hats," you know. And I just haven't had the money for it. Now I just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." But failure can't be the reason why you don't do things. You know, I do all kinds of shit. I almost didn't make it to the top of the mountain last time we climbed because my heart issue. Found out, you know, I potentially have fucking lung cancer. So that could be why it's fucking hard for me to climb at 14,000 feet. You
Makes
got to
sense.
still try, like rowing the ocean. I don't know what's going to happen out there. I'm terrified. Well, not really terrified, but more so curious as to how I'm going to react in a boat with 4 Air Force cops. All of us are security forces.
Oh, it's not gonna be a solo row. It's gonna be.
It's gonna be like my.
Yeah.
I thought you were going all fucking crazy and doing a solo row.
Well,
Oh,
I think
gosh,
that would be
no.
cool, but we'll
That
do
would-
2 hours on, 2 hours off, and the record for our style boat is 50 days and 11 hours. So our goal is 49 days. We'll set 3 world records.
Do you know I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records, by the way?
Are you really?
With about 1,100 other people. When we were living up in East Texas,
He always
the
brings this
company
up.
that I was working for was involved in this thing. It was all the home builders and plumbers, electricians, and landscapers and all this shit for Tyler, Texas got together, and we built a house. And I shit you not, from the time that we started pouring concrete to move in ready, that's taped, floated, painted,
Sure.
landscaped, everything, 2 hours and 53 minutes.
Get the fuck out of here. How the hell did you do that?
It was donated to
Was it like a
Habitat for
fucking 6 foot
Humanity.
wide house?
No,
No.
well, the concrete that they
Holy
used,
shit.
the concrete that they used, it greens at like 250 degrees.
Yeah.
You pour it, it's self-leveling. You can walk on it in 7 minutes. You can set walls
What
on
the
it within
fuck?
11.
Yeah.
You
So while
set-
that's drying, they're building walls.
They're
and then
building walls on the
propping them up.
sides.
Yeah.
While the
my
walls are
God.
still laying down, the plumbers and electricians are roughing in everything. And then 11 minutes in, they can start standing walls. So they start standing on the walls. While that's going on, they've got these gigantic sawhorses that they're building the roof. And the roof was a simple, just a gable. There's no hips, valleys, or
Sure.
anything like that. Simple gable roof. They're building that. Once they have all the walls in place, they stop all the construction. They brought a crane, lifted up the roof, which is decked and shingled all the way up until like the last 3 or 4 foot to the peak. Lifted the crane, put it on there. People are taping, floating, painting, like the whole thing. Like it's
Fast
crazy.
drying paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was donated to Habitat for Humanity. I was gonna make
Oh,
a
it's
joke
amazing.
about the licensing and the inspections taking 17 days, but
Oh yeah, the punch out list afterwards was fucking insane. But
But
we
still,
got to
that's
do a really
insane, dude.
cool.
and then we got to swing on the world's largest swing. And
Yeah, the guy that
Oh,
financed the whole thing, he's
He's a
financed like
Guinness
10 Guinness
record
records at this
dude.
point.
That's awesome.
It's his
one of those
thing. He's
dudes.
like some multi-millionaire.
Yeah, that's
That's
what he wants to do with
badass.
his millions.
Yeah, fucking cool for him. If I
Whatever,
had millions,
dude.
I'd be doing shit like that
No,
too.
you wouldn't. I mean, maybe building Habitats for Humanity, but not like investing in Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh yeah, I would.
Seriously?
Hey, I'll actually so our team will have 3 world records if we do it in 49 days. I will have a record myself for being the first uniball to make it across the ocean in the race.
Yes.
Do that. You get that. You get
I'll
that
set a record
Hulk
for the
nut.
first single
it's
nut.
Hulk nut. It's that Hulk nut
Hulk
power.
nut. I
Oh
think
my
that's pretty
God.
fucking sweet.
But man, we've got to start wrapping it up. Nick,
Yeah, no worries.
Nick. Oh my God, we are definitely going to have to
Yeah, for sure, man.
continue this sooner than later. Don't go anywhere once we shut this up. I want to see if we can schedule this in advance.
Yeah,
'cause I
absolutely,
am
man.
really interested in doing this again. What are you doing?
You've got beard hairs like brushing your mic. and I was like,
That's my spacer.
mesmerized.
That's how I know how close to get to
Oh,
have that
my
good
bad.
crisp sound.
My bad.
But for,
It's just if I ride behind you on a motorcycle, it turns into dental floss. So I'm traumatized a little. So it's fine. It's fine.
But thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget that you can check out all of our old podcasts on
The whole
YouTube and
shit
any of
shows.
your favorite podcasting platforms. Make sure that you tongue punch that share button fart box and let everybody know about this shit show. Thank you again, Nick. Thank you,
Yeah,
Kat,
of
for
course.
being
Thanks,
there
guys.
Well, of course.
because you're awesome. Yeah.
Oh, stop it. Go on.
Don't forget to ask us via messenger or
put
in
your
the group
questions out there. Yes.
questions for the not so newlywed game so we can get shit housed
Shit house.
by your questions.
Not shit faced, but shit house.
Shit house. That's how we roll.
Coming
But,
at you. Hashtag shit house.
but with that, we're out of here. Thank you guys. Love y'all. Talk to you later.
Bye, everybody. Shit house.